Hello, 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 everybody. How's everybody today? Our weather in southern Ontario has finally moved on to spring. And so that's very nice to feel. Be out in a little bit of warm without the humidity. We haven't had too much humidity, and that's good. That's a good thing. So, oh, my hair's sticking up like that. I was at a symposium this morning for medical doctors who are interested in uh, asking what patients want, people who have chronic illness, and trying to learn how to. Hi, Annie. Hi, Kathleen. Um, so I attended this symposium this morning. It was at 10 o'clock my time, and traffic is always bad where I live in the morning and rush hour traffic. So we had to leave extra early. And of course, my brain won't let me calm down. So I was up all night and didn't get to sleep till 5:30, and had to get up at 7:30 to go to get ready to go to this thing. And we were out the door by 8:45. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I'm going to pass out. Anyways, um, thanks to my, hi, Cindy. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. So thanks to my Thursday night group who gave me the suggestions of what doctors need to know. They were very impressed, and I think I did a pretty good job with them. That was AstraZeneca that was putting that on. And yeah, so that's what I was doing all morning. Hi, Rose. How are you? Yeah, so today it is gorgeous out. It is an absolutely beautiful day, very little humidity, which has just shocked me because the other day, was it Sunday? My grandson didn't come over because he was going to a birthday party. And I thought, oh, I'll go and sit on the porch anyways and just read my book. Um, and I looked at the weather app. If you have a weather app on your phone, you can look for an asthma app or an air quality app. And I always look at the air quality before I go out. And it said it was just terrible for people with lung disease. So I thought, okay, maybe I better stay in and just look at it from afar. So I didn't get out. So this is the first day that I've actually been out, and it's a gorgeous day. It's too bad the traffic kind of kills us there, right? So today we're going to talk about being lost. So today we're going to talk about being lost. Sometimes life becomes so bleak that we have a hard time thinking positively. All we can see is the darkness that envelopes us. Our focus is on emotional pain, and sometimes it's physical, and sometimes it's just knowing that no matter what we do, we are never going to get better. When we're diagnosed with a chronic illness that is progressive, whose symptoms are getting worse, we only see the darkness. From time to time, it slaps us right in the face. When we can't identify with this pain we feel, it robs us of all enjoyments of all other facets of life. We've lost, we are lost, and we need to look hard to find our map and the direction in which we are going. When we understand the direction that we came, we can better understand why it cannot be changed. Nothing about the past can be changed. And I was just having this conversation with my niece today. about how the past can't be changed. And there's no point in lingering there, and there's no point in mulling it over because it is what it is. And a lot of people don't like that expression, it is what it is. But what are you going to do? You can't change the past. When we can't identify with the pain that we feel, it robs us of the enjoyment of all facets of life. We are lost and we need to look hard to find our map and the direction is of where we're going. Everybody has a direction in where they want to go. Everybody has something, needs to have something that will push them forward. When we understand the direction that we came, we can better understand why it cannot be changed. Nothing about the past can be changed. We've talked about this and talked about this. When you think back to the mistakes you made in your former life, the younger person you were, nothing can make those mistakes go away. However, there is hope because we can make a pact with ourselves to stop the madness now and to find a way to move forward. Only then can we examine what it is that we have set ourselves up to do in the future. And it can change, and that change starts in the present time. When I was first diagnosed, I was full of optimism. I had that attitude of all the COPD things would be easy, especially after I attended rehab. I had an excellent education from the respiratory therapists, nurses, and doctors that created the program. They gave us hope. It was a huge rah-rah. There was a spirit of optimism while attending rehab. But after 12 weeks, I was released to my own devices and there was no follow through. And soon things returned to the way that they used to be. Tell me if you can relate to that story. I slowly transitioned back to work in spite of the need to be taking better care of myself and to focus on my healing. Nobody told me that I had the right to disability and that I should not be working again. Instead, I tried to force myself to do too many things at once and to accomplish the same goals that I had before I was diagnosed. Most of us will tell you that this just does not work. I think we're all guilty of this inability to change at the beginning. I felt I needed to keep up. My employer gave me no accommodations and, in fact, told me on a daily basis that if I couldn't keep up, she would fire me. Now, anxiety, stress, and resentment were brewing, and it walked with me alongside my COPD. My load became heavy in no time at all. I had to learn how to work through it. If I didn't get through it, I would be letting myself down, my family down, and my employer down. It was time to learn to walk through my thoughts and my emotions and to stop identifying with every thought that came into my brain. This overload was not a good way to live. I remember one time when I was in the hospital and I just came off of life support again. We were all anxiously awaiting the impending birth of my grandson. Oh, I love that boy more than life itself. I called my sister that night and I was once again bawling my eyes out, saying, I will never be able to hold my grandchild. I probably will not see him past 5 years of age. And that thought was debilitating. I was frozen in fear and I could not find a place of pleasure in my life, knowing that for me, Things were never going to get better. These kinds of thoughts weighed on my mind, and I had to learn to release my inability to change them, because if I couldn't, nothing would change. I was lost and I was sinking deeper and deeper into the dark hole of depression, and I was desperate to climb out. I was no stranger to depression. It's something that had an impact on my family, but I wasn't sure that I could manage another episode. I had a tough time finding a place where things were good or right. I had to try because I knew staying here would be really bad for me, and I started to dissect my thoughts. I created many drawers in my head, in the sections of my brain, and I put each depressive thought into one of them, labeling with them with names like ridiculous, angry, bitter, dejected, and frustrated. I left them there until sometime in the future when I would be better able to work to deal with them, but it wouldn't be today. If you're lost and you find yourself going down that deep hole, you have to find a way to bring yourself out of that hole, because it's such a deep hole that once you get in there, sometimes you can never come out. Work at finding your compass and let it tell you where you are going. Find something to be happy with. Find something that pleases you. We all need something to look forward to. And your life is not over. The one thing that my doctor told me when I was first diagnosed, he said, you better get used to living with COPD because you're not going to die from it. And he was right. There's nothing wrong with dwelling in one place unless we don't want to stay there. And when you decide that you want to move, you can move. Perhaps instead of living in solitude, you could reach out for help. And that is how you can help others to help you. Sit back straight with your shoulders lowered. Put your hands on your lap, palms up. Take 2 deep breaths. Begin to breathe in using pursed lips. Inhale through your nose and take each breath into your belly and hold it there. Then release through pursed lips. Now is the perfect time to inhale hope and light and exhale what no longer serves you. We don't need it anymore, and it can't hurt you anymore. This is Barbara Moore for Catch Your Breath 60, and I appreciate everybody who showed up today. Thank you very much.